Hey all, how are you? Tiff Marshall here. When you come in, make sure you say hey Tiff. Say hey Tiff when you come in so I can say hey back to you. And that applies if you're watching replay as well. Tell me hey, and if it's your first time viewing, tell me where you are viewing from. So you know when I come live, it's about, something. And this is really about a conversation that I've had with many women, especially as I come in contact with women throughout the day. And I like to address a lot of questions that you all ask me. So I am a system strategist. That means that I help women organize their business. I help them take better care of their customers by having systems in place. Systems is or are organization tools for your business. So if you have a business and you need to take better care of your clients, you need a more organized way to run your business. If you feel overwhelmed, if you feel like you need a VA, I'm your girl. Hey, Tasha. Hey, girl. Hey. So having a successful business starts with this, and that's what I want to chat about. If you don't have time to watch, but you think you need my help, go to clearresourcemarketing.com. That's clearresourcemarketing.com because I want to help you be clear. There's nothing like having a frustrated life because you feel like you got too much going on. And what happens is we don't do anything. You ever been to a point where you feel like you're not getting anything done because you got so much to do? It's like, for me, my brain was shut down. And I remember night after night, I would just get in bed and feel like, what did I do today? Or it would be afternoon and I would just feel like the whole day was a wash, like whatever, just, I'll start over tomorrow. And every day we're starting over, or every week, every Saturday, Sunday, or every Sunday, well, I'm gonna do better tomorrow. I'm gonna start on Monday, right? Monday is always that time when we just gonna get our whole life together. Y'all feel me? And so when you don't have an organized life, you don't have an organized business. And that's so important to understand. When you don't have an organized life, you don't have an organized business. So if you're in business, if you have a nonprofit organization, or even if you're thinking about starting a business, because studies show that about 70% of people want to, have their own business. They want to be an entrepreneur away from their job. Like they want to, be free from their job. So I'm sure that this, applies to you. And so if you're not organized in your personal life, you won't be organized in your business life. And so let me just cover one thing that's really robbing us of our organization. Because when you have organization, you have clarity. Let me repeat that. When you have organization, you have clarity. And one thing that is hurting our professional or even our personal growth is the way that we mismanage our time. We can mismanage our time so much. And that's because we may not have boundaries in place. And boundaries are one thing that you want in place. So here are some lies that people will tell you, and it's robbing you of your time. Like, hey girl, it'll only be a minute. Can you call me? Hey, can you work on this for me? It's real easy. Listen, anything that you have to do will most likely take twice as much time as you think it's going to require. Right? Except those things that you got to do that you procrastinate about, which is so weird because that's a whole different topic. But most things that you say yes to are going to take more of your time. And one thing that I tweeted the other day, and that is that every request is a demand of your time. When people ask of something from you, that is a demand of your time. They want your time to do something and fulfill a need that they have. And there's nothing wrong with that. You just want to make sure that you put a pause onto what you say yes to and what you agree to. Right? You want to put a pause on what you say yes to and what you agree to. Because for me, I remember just being a zealous person, wanting to live up to the name of, a hard worker, bossing it, just saying yes to everything, trying to do everything for everybody. And then I was like, nothing is helping me. So when we are saying yes to so many things, like basically lending your time that you're not going to get back, you don't become an organized person because you're split and you're not true to what you're really supposed to do. Right? So how can you overcome that? And that's knowing what you're supposed to do. Like what are you supposed to be focusing on so that you know what to say yes to, you know what to say no to, or maybe not yet. You know, in my Facebook group, oh my gosh, yes, in my Facebook group, I don't know why the name's not popping up. In my Facebook group, I posted different ways to say no. You know, not at this moment. I've obligated my time to some people, and it wouldn't be fair to them if I, stretched my time anymore. Like, follow me on Instagram at Clear Resource, and I posted some ways that you can say no. But you want to make sure that you're not stretching yourself too thin. So if you find yourself saying, "Oh, I need more time in a day," you don't need more time in a day. You need to manage the time that you have in the day. We have 24 hours, day and night. I believe that God created that with a whole purpose, and we just have to watch how we manage the time that we do have. Doesn't mean that you have to wake up an hour earlier. Doesn't mean that you've got to carve out time just for yourself. That's why I do the Clarity Room, which is virtual co-working. You should definitely join us. We have an hour where we just tune out the whole world. Maybe it's spending less time watching the news. I haven't watched the news broadcast since January. I don't want to hear none of it, right? Maybe it's, answering the phone less. Like, people think I'd be crazy, but I don't care. Like, I only pick up my phone certain times of the day. On average, right? On average, we experience about 8 interruptions per hour. The average person experiences about 8 interruptions per hour. Interruptions could be anything from a phone call, a text message, a social media notification, an email, your dog barking, your baby crying, your husband asking for something, or the doorbell ringing, anything. So could you imagine that for every hour you have about 8 interruptions? What are you really getting done? And for people who are in business, or you use social media as a marketing tool, many times we think that, posting all on Instagram is productive. But unless you have a high conversion rate, that's not really productive. We find busyness as being productive, but it's really not being productive. So if you want to be organized in your business, you have to first be organized in your life, because you have a life before you have a business, I hope. So you have to make sure that in life you're organized, and the key to your organization is going to be how you protect your time, because you don't get it back. You don't have to respond to every text message right away. You don't have to pick up every phone call. You don't have to respond to every email right away. Some people do, some people don't. But if your outpour is more than what you're pouring in, you're not balanced, right? And so you have to think about, what does time management look like for you? What it looks like for me is different versus what it looks like for you. And then when you get to the point and you can hire help, do it. I know people who have housekeepers. I know people who shop. I know I shop and have my food delivered. I'm not going into no grocery store. I just don't want to do it. If you see me in the grocery store, it's going to be to pick up a few things. There are people, I say housekeeping. Some people have a house sitter. Some people hire somebody to go pick up their kids from school. Some people hire a chef. Some people hire VAs. Whatever it looks like for you to manage your time, guard your time, protect your time, do it, because we all have the same 24 hours. And what I've noticed by the most disciplined, or by the most successful people that I know, I'm talking about people, well, everybody has a different definition of success, but for my definition of success, those people had a very disciplined life. They had a structured morning, they had a routine. It's just beautiful to sit down and talk to them about it. So what does structure look like for your life? What does organization look like for your life? And here's one thing I challenge you to do. Get yourself a pen and literally write down everything that you do from the time you wake up to the time that you get in your bed to go to sleep. And even after you get in bed, because you're on social media and do other stuff when you get in bed. But write down everything you do and put a time by it and really see what you're doing with your time. What do you need to stop doing and what do you need to start doing? Because if you want to have an organized business, you must first have an organized life. I am not a person that does all the ripping and running and going and coming. And I am very cool. I'm calm. I'm collective. I'm organized. And I get things when I get to it. Even when working with my clients, we have a workflow. We have a projected timeline. They know what's going to happen, and there are some changes here and there, but we have a clean slate, and they love it. They love the organization. They know what they can anticipate. So make sure that you're not stretching yourself too thin. If you feel like you've got too much going on, you probably do. And guess what? It's okay to disengage yourself from some things and some obligations, some opportunities. It's okay to preserve and reserve your time and yourself. You cannot say yes to everybody. You know, like I used to be on the phone all day just texting and calling people. I have talk time hours now. I did it for myself. This may not work for you, but I have time. I have a block in my day. I have a block in my day where I will text and talk to people and return phone calls. Outside of that block, I will hit whomever up the next day. It just works for me. Like, could you imagine just talking and chatting all day? Now, again, this don't work for everybody, but it works for me. It helps me reach my optimal level of productivity. And that is getting things done that actually matter. That means getting things done that help people, getting my clients the organization that they need so that they can increase their profitability. But you have to know what your goals are and be true to your goals, because when you have real goals, your actions are going to align with what it is that you want to achieve. You're not serious about your goals if your actions don't align with them. Am I making sense? Your goals are not real. You're not really trying to reach them until every action that you make every day aligns with them. And so for one point in my life, I was easily accessible. Anybody could call me. I would be there. I would run. I would drop what I was doing to do what you needed. But guess what? After years of doing that, I looked at myself and I said, well, who helped me? I wasn't a good steward of my time. And God gives us a brand new day every day so I don't want to waste that time, right? I saw a post that said procrastinating is basically taking your time for granted. It's basically thinking that God gonna give you a second chance to get it done. So you have to know how you work, how you flow, and what's going to work best for you. I'm a smooth sailing person. Anybody who's busy, gotta get it done. I don't work well with those people. That's why my team, we all chill. We're creatives. We get in our zone, and it's like a whole vibe, right? We're not with those antsy people. But sometimes you need those people on your team, and you have to know how to work. But if you want to have an organized business, it first starts with an organized life by protecting your time and reserving your space, making the most out of your day and making that look however it looks for you. You know, I even know some mompreneurs who put their children on schedules and so that they have an organized life. I know, I think it's Portia. For bedtime in her house, they start playing certain music at 7:00. It's like some instrumental Beethoven-like music or something, just to get everybody to wind down. But we need schedules because I'm telling you, there is happiness in discipline. I know it sounds like, oh, I got to be structured, I got to have a plan. But trust me, you'll find so much freedom. You'll find happiness. You'll find peace when you have structure and when you have a plan. And let me tell you, when you set boundaries, people respect that. They will learn to respect it. And your clients will learn that as well, and they will respect that. We have to learn discipline in this hour. That's a whole nother realm I could go into, but we have to learn discipline and structure because we need it. It'll benefit us in so many ways. So if you want to have an organized business, start with having an organized life by protecting your time and reserving your time and putting yourself on a plan, on a schedule, so that everything you do is intentional. Where you go is intentional. Who you associate with is intentional. Who you talk to and who you don't talk to is intentional, because you have a plan in place and you're serious about your time because you're serious about your life. My God. Okay, I'm gonna stop there because I just feel myself going in a different direction. But protect your time. You don't get it back. And it is true. Time is money. And when you say yes, let your yes be yes and let your no be no. And when you have to say no, it is all right. It is absolutely okay, because guess what? There was somebody else who can do it. Don't you feel like you are the answer to everybody's emergency call? If everybody calls you in a 911 situation, it is time to revamp and revise what you do. All right. I hope this has been helpful. Don't forget to say hey to if you're watching the replay. And if you need help getting structure and organization in your business, you need help taking better care of your clients and getting more done in less time, I'm the person that you need to talk to. Go to clearresourcemarketing.com. That is clearresourcemarketing.com. Until next time, y'all, let's be clear.